Can they conjure up a moment of magic to steal a point away from Manchester United? Ozil took a deflection there, I think. Maitland-Niles wins the header. Ozil there, scrapping, but cleared by Eldridge. Ball will come right back at them, though. Ozil has Lacazette through.
Chance.
Aubameyang. Oh, that's a foul from Eldridge.
Oh.
You heard him say it might be offside. Hacked him down anyway, and now
It's got to be a red, yeah.
it's a red for Rojo. Ozil with the quick one. Aubameyang. Just a little bit rushed there, maybe, from Arsenal.
Can they utilise that extra player now? They've got 5 minutes to do it. That was that was some challenge, wasn't it?
Certainly going to be feeling that one in the morning, but the foul on the United man will allow possession to go back into their favour. And with a 1-0 lead here in game 2, they're looking good for the 3 points, Wes.
Yeah, even with the sending off, I don't think that United will be too rattled by that. I think, if anything, that stops.
He had to do it. He was going to score.
Yeah,
wasn't he?
he was going to score. He was 1v1. You know, you could have argued that potentially Aubameyang may have been offside, but the foul had to be executed. There was no way about it. It's cynical. It's professional. It's whichever way you want to slice it. But it needed to be done. It needed to be done.
It was Wes Dog-esque.
Yeah, me in my prime.
I mean, you would argue the same thing would happen in real-world football if it was a clear goal-scoring opportunity that late in the game. You've got to take one for the team, and that's something that happened to Manchester United.
But you can see here, Man United now really trying to shore this up. They've deployed Matic as an auxiliary CB.
I was going to say slightly defensive there, Wes.
Yeah, just slightly, ever so slightly, but they're very much parking the bus at this point, switching to 4-4-1.
I've also noticed that for Manchester United, for Arsenal, how narrow their back four are. Is there a reason for that?
Ideally, it's to focus all of your players to be in a line in the box, so that way then it makes the little passes in the box far easier to defend rather than having players that are kind of quite far away from each other.
United, 1-0 lead, time in their favour. Martial here with the ball. Oh, looking for Damani Mella, that's going to gift possession over to the London club. Ozil here in midfield. Pepe running on beyond. Can't quite dribble through to him, and that's cleared once again. Ball will come back at Manchester United. Siege mentality now for the club playing out of Old Trafford. Ozil looking for Aubameyang. Oh, will this just land for him? Keeper grabs. 5 minutes added on. Is this one all over, Wes?
Well, you can see there De Gea taking his time with the goal kick. And to be honest, if you're looking at the way that United foul, they need to be careful. They give away a free kick, but they're in possession of the ball now. It's exactly where they need to be.
Lingard.
You can see Lingard
on the right. Yeah, hacked down there by Maitland-Niles. Had to be done, otherwise this one would have been all over. Free kick to United, but they will probably take as much time off the clock here as they possibly can. Damani Mella. You can hear on the audio they're trying to decide who's going to take this free kick. It's into Matic. Back to Maguire. Oh, dilly-dallying there on the ball, but doesn't matter. Referee's final whistle comes in. Points are shared across the two games. Both teams getting a 1-0 win. Game 2 ends Manchester United 1, Arsenal 0.
Yeah, a great 3 points apiece for both of the two clubs. Rashford in the 51st minute there in a game that really offered not a lot in terms of attacking intent. It was a very, very cagey start to the day. But like we said, Wes, that's generally because the two teams were at such a high calibre.
Yeah, I think, in terms of, if you looked at the pre-match video where Eldred made mention of Christopher and his tactics and his tactical switches, they anticipated tactical switches, but I don't really think they anticipated them to that degree. I think if you looked at the way that Arsenal set up in that first game, it was exactly what they needed. They needed something to give themselves a bit of confidence. Although they didn't come away with a full 6 points or 4 points, they can at least go away from today going, do you know what, we've got the monkey off our back, we've won one game, now we can press on.
And then likewise for Manchester United, who, let's be honest, didn't play or didn't turn up really for large parts of today, but they've come away with 3 points. So they'll be very happy sitting with 7 now.
Yeah, I mean, if you looked at their first game, they were nullified by Arsenal. And I think second game they finally found their feet. It took them 51 minutes in the second game, but they at least found their feet.
They did indeed. We will shortly, hopefully, be going to the mix zone to have a chat with some of the players. But is there any, outside of it's hard to pick standout moments in such a stalemated kind of two fixtures, but were there any moments that you think, or certainly going forwards, that you think you've seen a pattern of play that either side are going to adopt going forwards?
Well, I think it's more Arsenal. It's the way that they've now set out. They seem to have found their identity, and hopefully they stick to it, because as we've seen from today, although they didn't come away with 6 points, they're starting to come away with points now, and that will give them some more confidence going into future match days. Yeah,
of course, Alex Giardi with the first goal for Arsenal in that first game, and then Ostrovic, who scored the goal with Marcus Rashford in that second game, so stalemate apiece. Obviously, we're going to get to going forwards, the games to come, but do you feel that you've seen anything, because how good Man United were really in that first match stage, have you seen anything today that's made you question a little bit what they need to work on, possibly?
I think it was just surprising that they were sticking to their game plan. They stuck to it almost to a fault. They were almost too proud of their own game plan to make a switch. I think if going forward they have a bit more of a pragmatic approach where they say, look, this isn't working, at least then they can make a change rather than just stick vehemently to one.
Absolutely. Now we are going to go to the mix zone with Harry and some of the players, I think, for Arsenal first.
Yes, thank you very much, Adam. I'm here with the Arsenal team. I'm going to speak to you, Venom, first. 3 points across both games. Is that the result that you guys wanted?
We surely want to do 2 victories, but we worked a lot during the holidays. We spent a lot of time to improving our game. You know, we are playing together from not that much time, so we need to improve on the chemistry. But we are on the good road. So I'm confident. I'm confident for the season. We are playing good, and we can only improve and working on the details.
You won 1-0 in the first game, but that second game, obviously you lost 1-0. What changed between those 2 games? Did they change up any tactics, or was it more you guys just not performing as well as maybe you could have?
When you play at this level, their play style is pretty similar to us. So the one that go ahead probably will win, because we spent a lot of time on the defense, so also on handling the results. But anyway, we did good.
Christopher, I'm going to come to you. The final question. You played Barcelona in Matchday 3. Anything you're expecting out of that game? Maybe some weaknesses you're planning to exploit for the Barcelona team?
Not especially. We'll try to continue to play on this way. Today we play really well. I'm very proud really of my players. I have to congratulate United. They play well. I think we deserve maybe more, 4 or 6 points, but it's game. You have to congratulate them. And now about Barcelona, it will be a tie game. They have the World Champion Cup, so you have to show how he's a World Champion. He's playing home, but he will be ready for sure. And he will work a lot again to improve. It's only a question of work.
Can I add something? Yeah, I just want to dedicate this performance to my grandma that just passed away some days ago. So, you are your bad and honor.
Rest in peace. Thank you guys so much. Congratulations, Arsenal. 3 points out of match day 2.
Yeah, thanks, Harry, and commiserations, of course, to S. Venom there. All of our thoughts, obviously, with the family. Going forwards for Arsenal, it's quite exciting, I feel, because you've got, Christopher, who's quite a pragmatic and tactical player, knows the game inside out over the years. You've then got the sort of flair going forwards of Alex Giardi, and then you've got the kind of the man in the middle who sort of knits it all together. So are you impressed with what you've seen today?
The fact that there's been a better performance today, I'm impressed with that. The fact that they've gone away, and granted, you could look at the first match day and go, well, they were up against Monaco, and that just happens where Monaco are the attacking force they are. But the fact that they've gone away, they themselves have said, look, we've worked on this, we've worked really hard, and we've come away with 3 points today. It's a massive improvement for them.
Yep. So they lost the first game, they won the second game. Here's Manchester United.
Yes, thank you very much, Adam. I'm here with the Manchester United players. Eldridge, 1-0 loss in the first game. You bounced back in game number 2. Talk me through the 2 games. What changed?
First game, we were pressing actually, and we were the better one. But like in football, if you don't score, you concede the goal. And they scored 1-0, and then kept defending, and defending well, kept the lead. We were trying and pressing, and the thing is, we failed actually in changing tactics. We just kept forcing our same gameplay, trying to go to the middle while it was very crowded in the middle. So the loss is on us. Second game, we actually played a bit the same, but we changed in defense from middle to wide. And that worked good because they were just running to the side and our team was just pressing on the side. So to defend well and yeah, just keep composure, wait, and in the end we scored the goal.
You did get the goal. 3 points out of those 2 games. Surely not the result you wanted. I mean, 3 points better than no points, but obviously you would have wanted all 6, right?
To be honest, I expected all 6. We were good. We are in training. Everything was going well for us, and to lose the first game, it's for me. I'm not happy with 3 points. So hopefully we can do better next time, and yeah, we will train again.
Speaking of next time, Matchday 3, you guys play against Celtic, your old teammate from last season, Jos in Dominator. How are you guys feeling about that one? Is there any tactics in particular you guys are going to try and employ against a Celtic team, which at the moment have 0 points?
That they have 0 points is more on luck, and it's a new team. They have to get used, and when they play against us in Matchday 3, they should be much better than they are now. So we have some game plans ready because we practiced a lot against them. We will see what we will do on that game, and of course it's nice to have a Dutch affair against Jos and his twin brother. Obviously I know them, and I'm also with Jos, my teammate of last season. We were runner-up, so both of us want to do better now. So it will be a tight game, and they are actually unorthodox because almost all teams play 4-3-3, and they are the only one playing 4-5-1. So we will see. We have to adapt and try to get 6 points again then.
Awesome. Eldridge, Manchester United, congratulations, guys. 3 points for you. Back to Adam and Wes in the studio.
Yeah, thanks very much, Harry. Interesting that, Wes, that they came out of that with 3 points, 1 victory, 1 defeat, and it feels like they lost both games. They seem very despondent, don't they?
Yeah, they it's almost like they're more than disappointed in how they played. I mean,
is that a sign that they are such a good team potentially because they expect to go out and win every time?
Well, I think looking at the characters, the build-up they're used, of that team, they're used to winning. So when something happens where they don't win, it's a shock to the system, and they go, okay, well, I wasn't happy with that. We should have won this. It's well, actually, if you look at the game, when they watch it back, you'll look at the fact that Arsenal defended in such a way that it made it nigh on impossible for Man United to even get close to the box. And they should take heart in the fact that second game they've come out and won it. They should take away and go, do you know what, 3 points, we're going to be in the upper half of the table. We should take that as a positive. Yeah,
they mentioned how they, in terms of the formations of Celtic, they'd already been looking at the team for next game. Do you think they perhaps didn't give Arsenal enough credit and are perhaps a bit complacent?
Yeah, I think so. I think if you looked at the results, like I said, if you looked at the results from Matchday 1, you'd immediately go, oh well, Arsenal spent force, don't need to worry about them. They've conceded 6 in their first game. What they probably haven't banked on is that Arsenal have gone away and worked really hard to get themselves into a position where they can win points and they can win games. So I think ultimately...
To now be taken seriously.
Yeah, now it's a case of, okay, Arsenal got some points on the board. Okay, they're ones that we now need to look at and figure out. And I think going forward, it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, remember, guys at home, if you're watching, to follow us on all our social media channels for all the latest information on the tournament as a whole, and get involved. Let us know how you're feeling, certain players, goals, etc., that you've enjoyed the most. We're now going to turn our attention, Wes, to the second match day, second match game, should I say, which is FC Bayern München and FC Barcelona, starting with the team Bayern Munich. So we have, of course, Alex Alguacil, Jose and Mestre. Alex, of course, played for Barcelona last season. Interesting turn of events there, Wes. And then, of course, for Barcelona, we have Guiafera, Henriquinho and De Palma as well. Some great experience for both of these two teams. Another huge heavyweight, tie here, Wes.
Yeah, like we said, there's no easy games in eFootball.pro, and this, again, is exactly the same. You've got powerful players across both teams, but then powerful players in control of those players. So I think it'd be a very interesting matchup to see how this pans out.
Absolutely, and in terms of that, who do you see as being the standout team of this game? Who's your money on in terms of who's going to win this?
If I was a betting man, I'd give it Barcelona.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are going to go now to check out the videos for the two teams.
Well, I expect a tough battle against Barca. After seeing them the first match day, they are a clear favorite for content and fight for the title here in eFootball.pro. I mean, we fixed a lot of mistakes that we did in the first one during the Christmas and the last training session. We improved a lot. I mean, we improved also our chemistry. We are feeling better each day. Well, it will be tough. Really fun fight against them. I hope to give my best. Also from Jose Mesa side, I believe a lot of them. Well, I mean, that's time to recover points, being back on our normal level. Well, let's see tomorrow. It will be a really fantastic game.
We're training a lot and we are ready for today. Bayern is a very good team and we are ready for the match.
Yeah, some words of wisdom again from both sets of players, and it's a real tough one to call this. We talked about earlier, Wes, but you've got obviously your standout players, the likes of Alex and Guiafera, who are world champions in 1v1 and co-op. But the other players involved, the likes of Henriquinho, the Palmer, Pro Evo, and the rest. They're all big players with a lot of experience in the PES League as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at them individually, they're really good players. If you look at them as a collective, it's a collection of really good players, and I think that is, with every team they've gone out and recruited very good players across the board, and I think they all complement each other in one way or another. So it's going to be interesting. It's not just down to there's X player that's going to be very good. It's going to be a case of how that unit works rather than just is an individual going to have a good game. It's can they all mesh together and form a really good team.
Absolutely. So we are ready for match 2 in match day 2. It is FC Bayern München versus FC Barcelona. Let's go. A real heavyweight tussle here between two huge global football teams, Bayern Munich and Barcelona. Harry, are there any bigger?
If there are, I haven't seen them. Certainly two teams that domestically within their own rights have won nearly everything that there is to win. And one thing that we might not have touched on, I'm not sure if you guys have touched on this, but yeah, this is actually Alex Alcathil going up against his former team.
Yes, indeed.
Last season, getting to the semi-finals, was obviously bitterly disappointed not to win the entire thing with Barcelona. Now finds himself lining up against his former club. So this one maybe a bit of pride, a bit of revenge almost on the cards, perhaps for Alex Alcathil. We'll have to see how that one plays out.
Yeah, Wes, we mentioned, me and Harry, about the size of these two clubs. As a former player, what's that, not only pressure, but also what's that, excitement that you're playing for, one of the biggest clubs in world football?
Yeah, I mean, it would be, it's a dream. It's you're playing the game that you love, but then you're playing it for a club that you then love. If you look at Barcelona, you look at the players they've got, all massively been invested into Barcelona, and same goes for the Bayern Munich boys. They've took on that kind of ethos that Bayern Munich have, and it's kind of ingrained into them now. So it's a case of pride and representing a club the size of Bayern Munich or the size of Barcelona. It goes with it, and it is an excitement. It's not a nerve, it's an excitement. You're like, wow, I'm here as representing Bayern Munich. I can say that I'm a Bayern Munich esports player. It's a feather in their bow almost.
Yeah, and obviously 3 new players for Barcelona this year. And it looks like they've made signings based on the ethos of the club as well. Because if you look at Guiafera, De Palma, and Henriquinho, they're all players who play that lovely, attractive tiki-taka sort of style of football.
Yeah, yeah. You look at how they employ that tactic. We saw, you know, it was quite tight versus Juventus in Matchday 1, but you could see the early the early parts of that coming to fruition. I think today we've got two teams that will think very similarly in terms of their play style. So I think we're in for a very, very good game here.
Lots of goals, hopefully.
Here's hoping.
0-0.
Don't say that. That being said, we do speak about Barcelona being a team that does play attractive football. Last week, left it late to get the results that they did against Juventus. Guiafera in the 87th minute to rescue a draw in game 1, and then Henriquinho in the 5th minute of added time in game 2 to win 1-0 against Juventus. They go up against FC Bayern München here and will be looking to try and repeat that same feat. Hopefully we can see some earlier goals from them this time around, I should say, Wes, as Bayern München will be disappointed with just the 1 point that they were able to grab against Manchester United last time.
Yeah, I mean, and if you look at the fashion, I mean, we saw it as the goal of the match day. If you saw the fashion in which that result came to be, they would be quite disappointed at how defensively, you know, they performed there. You know, I heard, you know, kind of them mention about how Neuer had rushed out, and you know, having an offensive goalkeeper is not always a positive thing to have.
Barcelona then starting this one out, attacking from left to right in their classic Blaugrana kit, which in Catalan actually translates to the red and blues. Here's Messi, offside by just a whisker. That was such a good chance though, and Barcelona, that's a statement of intent early on.
Yeah, you can see that they're looking for a slightly more direct route to goal this time, as opposed to taking their time and move through the gears. They're certainly looking to be a little bit more direct here.
So then, Griezmann here in midfield. Well cut out though by Jose, the captain of this all-Spanish Bayern München lineup. As we mentioned before, bitterly disappointed with how Matchday 1 went. And it's not the easiest of bounce-back matches here on Matchday 2, but as you say, Wes, there are no easy matches here in the eFootball.pro 2020 season. So a free kick has been awarded here to Barcelona, and I'm trying to think back to Matchday 1 and how Barcelona really employed their tactics. Seemed that a lot of counter-attacks came in from them.
Yeah, you can see that they're using a lot of pace. They have it in spades, so it's their, you know, it's their go-to trait. You know, you want to be able to use pace. It's interesting from Bayern Munich side. They've started with Thomas Müller this match day. They didn't start with him, I believe, in the last match day. So it's interesting to see that even they're looking at, you know, tactical switches to really break this down.
Here is Vreet. Early chance there. I say early, 16 minutes gone. Xerxes, lovely turn. Vreet in the middle again. Piqué clears it. That was Guiafera there on defensive duties. Here is though Antoine Griezmann for the Catalan club. Free will play on. Not an advantage given though. Busquets. Toro Vidal finds Leo Messi. Oh, good save. Needed to be done. Argentinian almost finding the top corner.
Yeah, he was getting smart play to at least try a shot from outside the box. It's a rarity in eFootball.pro, seeing as the percentage shot seems to be trying to pass it around the box, so it was good to try and force a save.
Perez here finds Messi. Perez is through, looking for Griezmann. 22nd minute, and it's the first goal of the game. They left it late twice against Juventus, but it only takes 22 minutes for FC Barcelona to draw first blood.
Sensational finish there as the ball got whipped across the face, tapped in at the near post, and it's been an interesting game so far, but certainly in terms of real quality, we've had to wait till the 22nd minute. Wes, great goal.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the percentage shot, we talked about passing in between the box, and lo and behold, it's a neat little ball. It's a slight flick off of Suarez, the defender's lost it, and it's an easy tap in for Griezmann in the end.
Guiafera, I think it was.
A lovely turn there, wasn't it?
controlling, as you say, a lovely turn, but Lefera, the goal scorer for Barcelona. His only second goal of the eFootball.pro season so far. We are only on Matchday 2, and no doubt that will change, but Bayern München now find themselves 1-0 down. Nightmare start after trying to bounce back from just a 1-point gain from Matchday 1. Pavard. We'll see what Bayern München can do now with a bit of possession. They did threaten early on. Here is Vriet on the right-hand side, but will be cleared away by Henriquinho. Good response, though, from Bayern, yet to really fashion themselves a clear-cut chance, but we'll no doubt be seeing more of them as we advance. Throw-in finds Goretzka. Xerxes will chase, but Barcelona will happily let that one roll through for a goal kick and roll the dice once again in midfield. Boateng. Xerxes again left alone on the right-hand side. Here is Vriet. Tackled in the box, fairly, as adjudged by the referee. Griezmann now maybe a counter for Barcelona. Perez looking for the 1-2 with Suarez, can't find it. Cut out in the end by Mestre. Good midfield possession so far from Bayern Munich. They're not forcing things, they're not rushing things where they don't need to. Goretzka's going to try and get onto that one, but clatters into a Barcelona defender. Spread clear though by the Catalan club.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking, they've bounced back fairly well, but you know, you're looking at the players that Bayern aren't using. You know, they're not using Lewandowski, they're not using Gnabry, they're not using Koeman, or at least not at this stage. And you can see there that Bayern are really, they're struggling to impose their will on this game.
Yes, they are. Only 35 minutes gone, though. Yes, they are down 1-0, but still a lot of time to correct the wrongs. Martinez all the way back to the keeper, Neuer. See what the Spanish outfit of Bayern München can do. It's funny saying that, considering they are playing a Spanish club of FC Barcelona from Catalonia, but Bayern München, the German squad, have fielded 3 Spanish PES players here in the eFootball.pro season. We'll see what they can do here to see if they can maybe fashion a counter. But the defence for Barcelona so far has been pretty solid.
Wes, in terms of Alex playing against his former club, do you think it's going to change the way he plays at all? Is he going to be trying a little bit too hard, or?
No, I don't. I think knowing Alex in obviously away from the console, he's quite a relaxed individual. He doesn't really kind of get too emotional when he plays PES. So I think we'll see a bit of a cooler head from as Goretzka makes his way in.
Oh, great goal.
That might be the goal of the match day, and you can see what it means to Bayern München. The equaliser against Barcelona. Tremendous one-touch passing. We'll see it again on the replay, Adam, but wow, that was a quick one.
It was an absolutely incredible finish from FC Bayern München, and just what you were talking about, Wes, in terms of that calm, because I thought he was going to shoot twice, and it was a chip through, then the flick on, and then the finish. It was a stunning team goal, and potentially might be goal of the day so far.
Definitely in my book, that well up there over this match day, and like we said, it's that coolness and presence of mind to, instead of go for the shot where most players would go for the shot, there's a pass that's been seen and it's easy, but to fashion that chance, it was great work from Bayern.
Wonderful.
That's the response they wanted. We mentioned they had been calm in midfield and calm and concise in possession. And it's been rewarded before the half with a goal. Could it be 2 as Vriet chases Lenglet? I think that will be all the action we'll see, though, of the first half, as Vriet once again will try and chase. But we enter the half on as even. It's got to be said that might be a fair result based on how well Bayern have been playing in the middle of the pitch. But Barcelona, they drew first blood early on, but struggled really to get to the game after that.
Great time to score as well. 43 minutes, right on the stroke of half-time, and they cut sways through that Barcelona back line. And a great response from the German outfit. Wes, is it as you were at the start of the second half? Do you think they've got certain things they're going to go out and do, or do you carry on as they were?
I think Bayern now will take this impetus and they'll go forward with this. I think I know I
Are
said
they
at
there
the
for the
start
taking, Barcelona?
I think so. I think they look a little. If you're looking at the body language, maybe a little bit rattled. I mean, to consider
Jose's pumped there.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you see animation from some people. It's like we said in the start, you know, the first match day. You don't want to see happy people when they're playing PES because they're more relaxed. And you know, I think looking at Bayern, they're looking more relaxed. They look like they're going to work their way into the game and impose their will like I'd mentioned they weren't doing at the start of this half.
Looked like a wounded animal, didn't they, as they responded there?
So then, second half underway. Xerxes looking for Vreet in the middle. Early chance though. Cut out in the end by FC Barcelona. Messi now in midfield. Maybe a chance to craft an attack. Perez returns it to Messi. Will he just manage to find his way through? He will not in the end. Here is Thomas Müller. Buisson ahead. Busquets though cut out. That's another key interception from Henriquinho. He's been playing well so far. Second interception in a row. Overall, when you look at the Barcelona squad, in terms of defence points, only one player within the top 20. Henriquinho is that man. 1,477. Ranked 17th best in the eFootball.pro in terms of defence. He'll be hoping that he will be climbing that chart at the end of today. There's some defending to do here as Xerxes is in for Goretzka. Bayern Munich take the lead. They were 1-0 down, have fashioned two amazing chances and have converted them into 2 goals. 2-1 to Bayern Munich.
That's a good new team there, Harry. And Stuart, just to reaffirm your status as expert, they've done exactly what you said they would do. They've come out in the second half, they've knuckled down, they've kept possession, and they've fashioned another wonderful team goal. Slight slip inside the 6-yard box, but in off the post, and it's well and truly game advantage by Munich.
Yeah, I mean, if you looked at how that goal started, it was pressure with Thomas Müller from Alex. It was then finished off by Alex in the box, and it's great play from Matchday and from Jose. As a collective, they're working far better.
And is there a better word in esports than Vamos right now? Because they are loving
definitely
it.
not.
Vamos!
I have picked my teeth up off the floor and put my tongue back in my mouth.
Don't, I liked it. Keep doing
As
it.
Bayern München have taken the lead here in game 1. Barcelona now with everything to do here in this second half. And really the way that Bayern have been able to settle into the game has been really, really impressive. I would have thought coming into this one, based on the way that Barca were able to play in Matchday 1, that they might be the favourites, but so far it's been all Bayern. Free, trying to find Müller.
They've got to be careful here, Barcelona, otherwise this game could very quickly go away from them. How do they, it's a real kick in the teeth, how do they change here, Wes, and get back in it, get a foothold in the game again?
Well, I think for me, I think they need to get the ball back for starters, because since the goal, Bayern Munich seem to have just completely had possession of the ball. Like we've mentioned before, it might take an error from Bayern to let them back in, but they don't look like they're going to be giving us or giving Barcelona any real chances as PK breaks away with it.
They're using the flanks so well, aren't they?
Griezmann. Suarez making a run. Plays it smartly back to Vidal. Griezmann looking for it again, but the defence of Bayern Munich.
That so nearly fell for him then.
A little bit shaky, but it gets the job done. Xerxes here. On the right-hand side, tackled by Lenglet. Oh, that's a... tremendous...
I was going to... Well, there you go.
Tremendous tackle there. It was in the end, but the referee's assistant flags for offside. You could hear the audible disgust of the Bayern Munich players
thought
when
that
they
was given a free kick for a foul.
It was just offside.
Indeed it was. And Wes, the changes are coming in thick and fast now as we go into the final third. You seeing anything that stands out?
Well, Dembele was brought on to great effect in Matchday 1 by Barca. He's been utilised again. If you're looking at Bayern, they're looking at slightly changing their formation. They've put Müller more central, gives them a little bit more physicality in the box. If you look there as well, they've brought on Kingsley Coman. Again, fresh legs, speed and pace. He'll run all day for you, and you know, Bayern certainly seem to be in the box seat at the moment.
Absolutely. You see a close-up there of Lutti, also part of the Bayern München outfit. And one thing I have noticed about these three players for Bayern Munich is how vocal they've been. You know, they're talking through every decision, whereas you look at Barcelona there, they're very the complete opposite. They're very quiet, they're very, you know, almost passive, whereas do you think that's helped them in this game? Because they've really turned this game around, Bayern Munich.
Well, having the ability to bounce ideas off of teammates, it's one of the best things you can have. And I think if you're Barca, if you're going to making decisions off your own back, you know, you're then responsible for it if it goes wrong.
And it's one of the advantages of co-op, isn't it? You can, like you said, you can throw ideas off each other, and because as one, you know, three hands are better than one, so to say.
Yeah, and if you've got, like you say, if you've got the likes of Lutti, who well-renowned Austrian champion of Fez, backing you up as a coaching decision, it's better to have a fresh set of eyes who aren't involved in the game.
Changes made. Second half resumes. Barcelona chasing the game. Only the one goal down, that's a plus for them, but Serge Gnabry coming on for Bayern Munich will mean that they have to be very wary of the counter. Here is Suarez. Sergi Roberto. Dembele. Good save there. Just pushes it behind. I think he was just on. Will be a corner now to Barcelona, thanks to that lovely work move.
Yeah, very smart stop down to his near post. And Barcelona will be more than happy with a point here if they can get it. But just before half-time, they would have been going for all three, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I mean, looking at it, you can see the complete turn in fortunes here as Barca set up for this corner. You would imagine that Busquets and Piqué are their targets, but we'll see. They might throw a curveball in here.
Barcelona corner. Can they conjure up? Short to Arta for Piqué. Arta will retain possession. Dembele offside. Ferreira was the man controlling him, but the Frenchman just a little bit too eager to get onto the ball there, and that will, unfortunately for Barcelona, turn over the possession to the German outfit.
Yeah, it's a wasted chance, that, and I'm not sure how many more they're going to get, because since that second goal, Bayern Munich have really bossed proceedings, and there's only 20 to go as Coleman has the ball down the left-hand side. Good challenge, but throw on the far touchline.
Yeah, one thing you don't want to see here from Bayern Munich is really crumble under the pressure and fold before the game's even over. So important they make these possessions count. Muller on the ball, smartly playing it back into midfield. That's something I've been seeing so regularly from Bayern München. Really put the pressure on the Barcelona box by retaining possession and really compacting the Barcelona defence and making them play with the backs to the wall. Coman thrown in, but that's a bit of a sloppy turnover. Dembele now with a chance to counter. Messi. Back to Arta. Here is the Argentinian again. Dembele has Arta on this right-hand side. Suarez to look for. Oh, that smartly grabs. So close though.
I'm still so surprised looking at the players down on the bottom right of the screen at how silent they are. There's no talk at all about the attacks, etc., whereas the opposite with Bayern Munich, very vocal, and so far it seems to be that is the way that's working. They seem to be in tune, Bayern Munich, whereas Barcelona are sort of clutching at stuff at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, it's quite stoic. There's not too much discussion. It's very limited. Whereas you look at the Bayern side, they seem to be in sync. I mean, I caught a part of them practicing earlier on. They were actually recording game clips and looking kind of almost a micro level as to where they should have put passes, where they should be, where they should be pressing. You can see that. You can see that there is a vast improvement this match day compared to how they played last match day.
Yeah, we finally got a few words there from the Barcelona lads as they look to try and change the course of the game. Obviously, they do have a second game to play, so all is not lost, but certainly 1 point at this stage would be a great result for them if they could get it.
Yeah, and I've just spotted there Bayern Munich switching to a 4-2-3-1. They're looking to consolidate this lead now and really kind of hold it down in midfield. They've moved away from the 4-3-3.
Dembele finds Messi. Smartly blocked. That was a very good job there from the Bayern München players. Getting in front of that shot. Now maybe a chance to counter. Here is Coman. No one in the box at the moment, though, for Bayern. Good dribbling there from Matchday. Here is Reet. Oh, runs into trouble, though. Should retain possession, and they do. And this is the trouble when you play 5 in midfield, as Bayern München are doing with that 4-2-3-1. You don't want to turn over possession too early, because that will leave you wanting at the back. Speaking of, there was Messi trying to put the pressure on. Barcelona knocking on the door now. Sergi Roberto.
Oh,
that's a late one from Alex Alguacil.
Naughty, naughty again. There's a late challenge there. 4 minutes remaining. Can we get a late equaliser here for Barcelona? It would be a huge point for them if they could get it. But as things stand, they will be empty-handed after the first 90 minutes. Wes, can they do it?
Well, in a situation like this, there's every possibility that they can. It's just about the quality of delivery and the reaction times to it. It's on a knife edge at the moment.
Arter standing over the oncoming free kick. Looking for PK, heads it on. Messi trying to chase, but that's just too far ahead of him. Time is dwindling now for the Catalan club here in the first game of this 2-game affair to get anything out of it. Bayern Munich look set to get their first 3 points of the eFootball.pro season. Barcelona, though, not giving this one up just yet. Pavard hoofs it away. Falls for Titi. Arter ahead of the defender. Good tackle, though. That's Mestre once again. And that's another
frustration.
Frustration seeping in.
Yeah, it looks like that late winner that they got in match day 1 is not going to be repeated here unless it's even later in the injury time that's been added on by the 4th official.
Looking for Koeman. That's a bit of a waste there from Bayern Munich. See the updated goals leaderboard. Fee of AS Monaco still sitting atop that table. Mestre, though, just the 1 goal behind. But can Barcelona get anything out of it? That is a tremendous challenge. Reet, though, unfortunately, is offside, smartly leaving the ball. De Palma will try and get it up the pitch, but Bayern München score their first 3 points of the eFootball.pro 2020 season.
Huge victory there for the German outfit. After going 1-0 down early on, the 22nd minute, Barcelona took the lead, but a goal either side of half-time has turned it on its head, and it is Bayern Munich with the first 3 points of the day for them, and all to do now for Barcelona, Wes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a situation that they're not really going to be familiar with. Obviously, the first match day they drew, and then they had a chance to win it, or to win the second game. As we can see now, there seems to be the inquest of what exactly went wrong and what they're going to change going forward. But for Bayern, it should just be more of the same. You know, I called it wrong at the start, and I was asking questions as to why certain selections weren't made, but we saw why in the end.
Do you think maybe a little bit too focused on the game itself, the Barcelona players, maybe a bit of lack of chemistry, so to speak, between the 3 players up there on the stage led to them maybe not communicating as much as they should have?
Yeah, I mean, as I've mentioned before, you can get stuck in a bubble when you're playing at these types of events. You can get stuck in a bubble and you can completely forget, actually, I've now got 2 or 3 players next to me that actually I need to rely on and I need to trust to make those decisions, rather than taking it upon yourself to be that person.
What's amazing to watch across the last couple of years is how good, and we talk a lot about Alex, but in terms of the ability to play in various different co-op teams, he's played in about 3 in the last 3 years, and he's been, collectively, the teams have been pretty brilliant.
Yeah.
You know, is that an added merit to the guy?
I think that's an added merit to Alex, and I think also, as we alluded to match day 1, a lot of these players will play against each other just as practice for national tournaments, for offline tournaments.
So they'll know each other's games.
They'll know each other's
games,
and they'll be able to adapt to whatever situation. It just so happens that, you know, Alex has been able to adapt to 3 incredible co-op teams.
Yeah.
World Finals appearances 4 years running from Alex Alguacil, from 2015 to 2019. 1 assist on match day 1 from the Bayern München player, but it's got to be said, defence points, second last in the league, 29th out of 30 players. Something you might want to see more out of Alex. He had his two teammates next to him, of course, covering defensive duties where possible, but certainly maybe an aspect of Alex's game you might want to see improve.
Yeah, and he only finished second in the 1v1s a couple of years ago. Disappointing.
Yeah,
Come on, Alex, that is really, really poor form. I want to see better from you, my man. No, incredible player, and I'm no doubt we'll be singing his praises right the way through this tournament, but the most important thing is collectively here today with Pro Evo and Jose as well, that they're looking like a pretty strong outfit.
Yeah, I mean, you can see that the way that they've kind of come together between Mestre, Jose, who again, even on their own individually, are brilliant players. You know, I'm, in a couple of PESs gone by where even I used to qualify for events. Jose won an event in Barcelona at the Nou Camp. He's a very, very good player on his own merit, and so is Mestre. So, as a compliment, as to have all three of them playing very well, it bodes trouble for people if Bayern Munich have learned how to play with Bayern Munich. It's real problems for the league, because they'll be a dangerous outfit to take on.
Indeed it is, and of course, Harry, the break now, if people are wondering what's going on, does this just go to show how important this next game is for Barcelona? Because I'm assuming we're waiting on some tactics for Barcelona.
Yeah, they have to figure out what was going wrong in that first game. They have to put that behind them now. We do play two separate matches per matchup every match day. So the first game worth 3 points, second game worth just as many. For Barcelona now, it's all about putting that first game behind them and trying to make amends and fix the mistakes of game one. Honestly, between these two teams, there are so many different accolades. We spoke about Alex Alguacil's World Finals appearances. We have, on the Barcelona side, opposite him, Gufera, obviously 2017 World Champion in the 1v1s, 2019 World Champion in the 3v3s. So lots of accolades across these two squads. And we will no doubt see more high-quality pairs here in this second game. Barcelona attacking from left to right against Bayern Munich.
Yeah, you can see that what's interesting about Bayern Munich is their setup, much like what we mentioned in regards to trying to counter teams' weakness. They've looked at this Barca side and gone, well, we need physical players. They've started Goretzka, they've started Javi Martinez, who is probably not fashionable enough. They've got Sul. There's loads of different physical players that they've brought on and made the
5 minutes gone here, and it is Barcelona who have possession with Messi.
Vidal. Unfortunately, that one will not bounce in his favour and will bounce out for a throw-in to Bayern München.
If you're wondering why Harry's voice seems to be morphing throughout the show, he has been struggling with a slight illness before the stream.
I didn't want to mention it because I was going to try and soldier through, but you might hear a couple of voice breaks from me.
Dorset tones, mate. Dorset tone, love it.
I'm sure everyone at home and everyone here in the studio, I have gone through puberty, but unfortunately, illness has overcome me. But I'm soldiering through. I want to see some.
You've been hamstring strong.
2020 action, and I want to see some good goals. And if I get excited and I lose my voice, so be it. And Xerxes chasing the ball for Bayern Munich. It's not going to happen for him this time.
Yeah, you can see there, it's trying to use those physical attributes. It's getting it through to Xerxes, who again is a physical player, thanks to stat balancing. Although to people at home, he might not be a household name, but for people playing eFootball.pro and for eFootball PES, he's there as a very useful player to have. I mean, that's why the likes of Lewandowski are not on the pitch, as the Bayern team have identified him as a go-to player. As you can see there, challenge for a ball with Umtiti, which you wouldn't normally see.
And Wes, in terms of, we talked about eFootball Pro, there's also an eFootball Open, is that right?
Yeah, so there's the eFootball Open. So for all of the pro players that you see here today, you do have an eFootball Open, which is open to everybody. So you can pick one of the 10 teams that you see here today, register as part of their club, and you can win ranking points. You can go on and qualify for different tournaments as well.
So of course, if you are watching this and want to get involved, then that is probably the best way to do it.
Pledge your allegiance inside of eFootball PES in 2020. My voice is well and truly gone now. Smell and
you know what? I
true.
think it sounds better, Harry, to be
I need a
honest.
Strepsil.
A Strepsil.
Other lozenges are available. Here is Goretzka. Trying to flick it on there, but again, cleared by Barcelona. Chasing the ball is Pavard, but hounding and pressing early from Barcelona. This is a bit better from them. They've recognised Bayern want to be playing inside that midfield capsule almost, and are pressing early, which is won them possession here. Here is Busquets for Messi. Messi to Suarez. Cut out though by Matchday. He's been playing very well defensively so far.
He has indeed, and again, as we said, Bayern Munich looking very, very defensively astute so far as we tick up to the halfway stage in the first half, and Barcelona haven't really troubled them, Wes.
Yeah, they seem to just be quite flat at the moment. They seem to really be quite flat, and they're not really trying to impose any type of game plan on Bayern. They seem to just be allowing Bayern Munich to just play their own way, and that's why we're seeing more chances for Bayern than we are for Barca.
Yeah, as the ball is out on this near touchline with Lionel Messi, the little man from Argentina, as Thomas Müller finds Javi Martinez. Back to Martinez again. It's another chance to play the ball forwards, headed away. It's all got a little bit scrappy after half an hour here, but again, this suits Bayern Munich, Wes.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they have 3 points in the locker already. Suissant.
Oh, it's a real chance though, in towards Thomas Müller, headed away, and that was the moment, but the danger is still here as it's cleared behind for a corner, and it's just those little moments where we may see the goal, Wes.
Yeah, they're looking quite vulnerable at the back at the moment, Barcelona. It seems to be that pace of pass and being able to deliver the ball. They seem to be getting it in and around the box.
Also a real chance for Martinez. Fired goals off the post, back out, and we've got the first goal of the day in this game, and it's Bayern Munich who have taken the lead, and they weathered the Barcelona early storm, and that is exactly what they wanted, Wes.
Well, no sooner was that corner, or as that corner was being given, you were saying it's got scrappy, it's got into that stage of the game. It took a manual shot from the edge of the box from Javi Martinez. It took a couple of deflections. It hit the post, and it bounced kindly for Xerxes, who was there at the back post, and it was easy enough for him at the end.
And something we touched on in one of the previous games about how narrow some of the back fours have been to sort of shore up that area and stop that tiki-taka through that penalty area. But of course, if you play like that, it enables the opposition to get down the wings, doesn't it? And that's exactly what Bayern Munich are doing here.
It enables people down the wings, and it leaves you open for more deflections in the box, which we saw there. Everything has a positive and a negative.
It's a mistake, and it's almost gone all... Oh, wow, that could have been really, really embarrassing there as it got played forward, deflected away. And Bayern Munich really now, as we head towards the end of the first half, have got 1 foot on 6 points as the ball gets played in towards Thomas Müller. Of course, a second goal here for Bayern Munich could mean curtains in this match as Gerard Piqué fires the ball away. What do Barcelona need to do here in the remaining 5 minutes, Wes?
Well, I think they just need to get it. I think they just need to get it to. They just need to get it to the half at 1-0. They just need to get it to the half.
So the ball is on the near touchline with Barcelona as it's played in towards Sergio Busquets. And now forward towards Messi. 3 minutes remaining at the end of the first half. Can they get the equalising goal? It's in towards Griezmann. He takes it away from the defender, pulls it across. And it's out of play for a goal kick. Great defending, Wes.
Well, it's gone for a corner. It's still very good defending nonetheless, but you would have thought that Griezmann may have took the shot there instead of taking the extra touch.
So, seconds remaining in the first half here. Corner on the near touchline. Would they be doing anything tactically here?
I think looking at it, they're looking at in terms of how many players they've got forward for corners. And with it being so late in the half, they're looking for targets. One of them being Gerard Piqué.
It is in towards Piqué, headed away. And now a chance to counter here for Bayern Munich. This could be a real sucker blow at the end of the first half if they can get it. Oh, almost flicked on by Thomas Müller, but blocked, and a lovely little back heel, but he's lost possession again into the final minute of added on time at the end of the first half. It's Lionel Messi blocked by Martinez, and it's finished here at the end of the first half, and it's plain sailing for Bayern Munich, Wes.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's since the goal and since that has kind of gone, you sense there's a great urgency with Barcelona. However, Bayern Munich backline, as we said, you know, you look at their backline, they've got Pavard, they've got Boateng, they've got Soule, they've got Hernandez. all physical, all tall, all able to defend, all have got defensive prowess that are quite high in stat balancing mode. It's allowing, you know, the likes of Suarez, Griezmann and Messi to be absorbed a little bit. There was that one little half chance for Griezmann that you could have looked at it and said, should have pulled the trigger, but ran out for a corner. So those little margins again.
Yep, fine margins indeed at this top level of eFootball.pro. 45 minutes are all that are in between FC Bayern München and 6 invaluable points here, Wes.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be massive for them, given they only had a point out of Matchday 1. I think they'll be delighted if they can hold on to this. You can see there they are breaking chances. As you can see there, Xerxes dribbling forward. He's got Pavard on the overlap.
Lovely turn there. Good defending, though, from Mtiti. And Pavard still has possession, whips it in towards the near post. Oh, it's a real chance. It's a swing and a miss almost with the head. And the counter could be on, but it's away to safety for now. Thomas Müller turns Vidal. Still has possession here. This is really nice one-touch stuff, but a sloppy pass there allows Barcelona to clear their lines, and a chance to counter again. Another solid. I mean, defensively, they've almost not put a foot wrong, Wes, over the 2 games.
Yeah, you can see the timing of their challenges. You can see that, you know, they are throwing in challenges and getting the ball just ahead of the player and stopping it from being a foul. I mean, there's no cynical fouls here. It's just very good defending.
It is indeed, as Vidal picks the ball up. One back though, and Müller wins possession for Bayern Munich out on that left-hand side. They've utilised the flank so well today. And the switch as well has been on so many times. One back though by Perez, and now Griezmann finds Luis Suarez, challenged by Martinez. And it is, I've been watching the last 10-15 minutes of action, and Martinez has been mopping up every single loose ball in that midfield area. He's been brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, his stats as a player, especially in stat balancing, they lend themselves very well to being a defensive midfielder. I know
it's broken again here. Busquets with a brilliant challenge there, because that was almost a chance for 2-0. And this game is just well and truly in Bayern Munich's control. It's difficult, Wes, to see where Barcelona are going to go from here, because they've not been able to get a foothold in the second half.
Well, like we mentioned in the first game, it's going to be, if it's going to come from anywhere, it will be an error. But these guys don't look like they don't look like they're presenting any opportunities for an error to even happen.
No, absolutely not. 63 minutes on the clock. Bayern Munich 1, Barcelona 0. It was 3 points in the first game for the German team. So far they are looking at 6 points from 6. A total maximum performance, which will put them on 7 after match day 2. And that is a huge, as we said, that would be a huge result based on the fact that they were only able to pick up that 1 point in match day 1. And again, I know I've probably overtalked it, but I want to see more communication from the Barcelona players here. I need to see some kind of, I say I need to see. I mean, who am I to tell them how to play? But I just feel that that's been the difference. I think collectively, Bayern Munich have shown a far greater team performance due to mainly those tactics that they can talk out, and it seems like Barcelona have been just a bit quiet.
But they seem to know their team better as well. I mean, we saw Eldridge alluded to the fact that a lot of teams will play 4-3-3. Sometimes you have a team where 4-3-3 doesn't suit that team. You need to map your tactics to how that team plays, not the other way around. You need to look at what you've got and make it work. You know, we saw it from Celtic last season. You know, they didn't have the best of players, but they made their formations and tactics work. It's similarly here. Bayern have gone away to a, to a very micro level and have looked at every player and have worked out exactly what they need to do with their team.
Yep, the close season has been a great one for Bayern Munich. They've gone away. They've had a long, hard look in the mirror. They've made changes, and so far, it's proved a beautiful afternoon here in sunny Spain as the ball gets cleared up towards a halfway line. Piqué wins the flick on, almost put himself into trouble, but Neto now plays it out towards the right-hand side. Just 20 minutes away from 6 points here for Bayern Munich as Will picks it up and plays it towards Gnabry. And now Martinez, who has been my man of the match, I'd have to say, in this game, has been stupendous to use a strange word, I just thought I'd throw in there as Luis Suarez picks the ball up. Again, look at that man. He's won it again. He's proved that sentiment as Umtiti now has a chance to win it back for Barcelona. It's now or never, you feel, for the Spanish side as Busquets plays it up towards Rakitic. Ivan Rakitic now finds Lionel Messi on the half turn. Again, brilliant defending from Bayern Munich. There's just nothing that Barcelona can do to break this defensive line down. Gnabry now out towards Koeman on the left-hand side, finds Thomas Muller. The counter-attacking opportunities are coming thick and fast for the German outfit. If they can utilise them, they could be in here. It's Thomas Muller, he's onside, the flag stays down, he pulls it across. Gnabry just can't quite get on the end of the cross, and that was a real chance, Wes.
That was, yeah. I mean, it's those little moments, like we said. It's 1/2 second too early, 1/2 second too late. You know, if they'd have held on for that, defender gets back and takes Muller out, they have to play the pass. What I'm really impressed with Bayern, though, is that they've had the presence of mind to go, okay, our first formation worked, we've got our goal. Now we'll go to plan B, where we're playing defensively, we're able to lock out the game, and we're able to really... Yeah, and then you just go, right, you hit us on the counter. Whereas, you know, you could argue that Barcelona don't... Oh,
we could, of course, be talking. We could, of course, I was literally just about to say, we could, of course, be talking absolute rubbish if Barcelona were able to grab an equaliser, and that is still a huge possibility. You can never write off the likes of Palmer, the likes of Henriquinho, and, of course, one of the former PES World Champions, Guiafera from Brazil, has the chance to equalise here. But 5 minutes is all that stands between Bayern Munich and 6 huge eFootball.pro points.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it looks as though the Barca are lacking a plan B. It's very much a case of if plan A works, we're fine. If plan B is employed, there isn't a plan B there. They don't seem to have, you know, the wherewithal. They don't have a lot of attacking substitutions. You can only really bring on Ousmane Dembele. You could bring on De Jong potentially. You could bring on those players, but they've spent all 3 substitutions, so they clearly know what they're looking for.
Do you think that might be because Barcelona came away from Matchday 1 with 4 points and were a bit like, okay, we'll go again? You know, we're happy with our performance. Do you think maybe they were a little bit complacent again?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you could look at it, they'd be like, oh, well, you know what? We're 3 debutant players. We come away with 4 points, and you know we're perfectly fine going into this game. But when you look at the players who are on show for Bayern. You know, granted, you had Alex, who had experience from last season. You had 2 debutants, but they seem to know their games better than what the Barcelona guys do. And I think, you know, maybe looking at the game versus Juventus, they were lucky to come away with 4 points. When you really looked at it, you know, there was only 2 minutes added on, and it was the 5th minute of injury time.
Yeah.
You know, you look at those little things and go, actually, were they lucky in that regard?
So 1 minute away from 6 points, Bayern Munich. Can they finally get it? Yes, they can. The German club have managed to claim all 6 points here. 2 games won by them. Barcelona leave today with nothing, and of course that is a huge result for Bayern Munich, who now joint top the table with Manchester United on 7 points. Of course, we have massive games still to come. The likes of AS Monaco and Schalke, who already have 6 before today has even played. So it looks like certainly for them they'll be up there or thereabouts, Bayern Munich, and a really impressive double performance there, Wes.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like they've unlocked that Bayern puzzle as we mentioned in Matchday 1. They were going to go away and they were going to take a look at it, and they were going to really put together a side that knew what they were doing. And I'll be perfectly honest, they were perfect. You know, there wasn't.
To be perfectly honest, they
were perfect. I'm going to double speak.
You can't get any more perfect than that.
But no, they were resilient. They were defensive. They knew what they needed to do. They knew the players they needed to bring off the bench. They knew all of the little intricacies that you need with these teams, and they played to stat balancing strength, which is have physical players around the pitch.
And of course, I mean, we've talked. You know, we've run out of superlatives for Bayern Munich, but we've got to remember that Barcelona took the lead in that first game and really looked fairly comfortable for 40 minutes or so, and then it just kind of went a bit wrong, didn't it?
Yeah, well, I think it kind of lends to your point a little bit in regards to communication. You know, when substitutions are being made, when tactical decisions are being made, is there that dialogue between players? Is there that, you know, is there that team decision? Instead, they've got to go away and look at that now and go, okay, so why were these decisions there? You know, they'll watch back this game film, as we alluded to in the commentary. They'll go back and analyse this and go, well, what exactly went wrong? Because looking at how Bayern performed, I think actually they looked as though the Bayern were just better on the day as well. You know, they seemed more together, they seemed more cohesive, it seemed like the chemistry was there, and it's great, but it's also a problem for any other team that are playing eFootball.pro, because if these three guys have got a handle on their team, it's trouble for everyone else.
It is indeed 2 for Mestre, and of course 6 points there, and I believe we're going to go to the mix zone to hear from the players.
Yes, thank you very much, Adam. I'm here with the Barcelona players. Guifera, not the result you wanted there.
Yeah, we are prepared for victory in the loss, and we'll continue training for Evolve for the next match. My expectation is a victory.
So you play against Arsenal in Matchday 3. What are you guys going to do to prepare for that? How are you expecting that match to go?
We are playing with Arsenal in next Matchday. A very good team, and continue the training and go to search a victory in this match.
Awesome. Barcelona, congratulations, guys. Obviously, commiserations, I should say. 0 points for you. We'll see them again in Matchday 3 against Arsenal.
Yeah, thanks for that, Harry. And anything you picked out from that interview there?
Well, they just seemed disappointed. They seemed disappointed. I think the answers kind of from Guifera, it was a case of, okay, well, we lost that, but we'll go and play the next game. It didn't really seem to strike home that there was too much of a worry.
Changes.
Yeah, there wasn't too much worry, which is surprising for me given how they played and how they conducted their own changes. So,
which kind of goes on to what we were saying about there didn't seem to be enough drive almost. I mean,
yeah, and whether that's the case, whether there isn't enough drive there, who knows? But only those guys will know what they need to do.
Indeed, and now we're going to hear from the victors, Bayern Munich.
Yes, thank you, Adam. I'm here with the Bayern München players. Alex, 6 points there. Fantastic result for you guys.
Yeah, we are really, really happy. We really had fun there playing the stage. That you have to enjoy. With days like today, we enjoy the video game and the competition a lot. Super proud of the boys. We had a very, very difficult days last days because we didn't find how to play, how to perform well. Personally, boys knows I was playing super bad the last few days, even today. But I told them I was going to play well. I was super solid. I was super happy because all the hard work of this month ago, since we are not playing, is pays off. We are 6 points. We had luck in the second game, but well, it's like the unlucky that we had in the match day 1 it's covered now. So well, super proud and enjoying now the victory there.
So Matchday 3 in 2 weeks' time, you guys play against FC Schalke. What are you guys going to do to prepare against that team?
Well, it will be a tough game. They are all the opposite than our game style. They try long balls, win the headers, and then about that, and with that trying to play. They are a very intelligent team as well. It's time to be even more solid than today, control the defense, the spaces, and well, with Mestre in attack, everything could happen. So we are super proud. I mean, Jose did an amazing job in defense, Mestre in attack, and well, he's really happy about that. Let's see.
Guys, congratulations on the 6 points. Bayern München winning both games against FC Barcelona. Adam, back to you.
Cheers, Harry. Wes, what a difference a day makes for Bayern Munich.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell from the way that the guys have reacted, they're super happy with that performance, and so they should be. You know, to come away with 6 points against Barcelona, it's perfect for them. I think Alex, on a personal stand, I think Alex will be super happy. But the team as a whole, I think they played fantastically, and they played, like I said, they played within the realms of the team that they had. They didn't try and a tactics that didn't fit the team. They fit the team to their own tactics. You know, they were able to find the kind of the passage of play, and they found the mechanisms that they needed with that Bayern Munich team.
Indeed. So next up we have two massive teams again. We've got Juventus versus Schalke 04. Starting with Juventus, we have Eterito. we have Luca Tubelli, and we have Lo Scandalo as well. 3 huge players in their own right, and collectively, you know, another real strong outfit. A little bit unlucky in match day 1, possibly. FC Schalke 04, El Matador, Ghoul, and Merriman. 3 players who have played together, you know, for many, many years, and they were really strong in match day 1, weren't they, Wes?
Yeah, I mean, if you, like I said, for me, they were the standout performance. Defensively, they were on point. They knew the makeup of the DNA of their team. And like you said, if you've played together longer, you already know what the other person's going to do. You don't necessarily need to have the discussions of, do I bring this player on? Do we make this switch? You know what your co-op partners will want to do.
Yep, and we are going to go to the video of the teams now.
For tomorrow, we try to win, to have 6 points. Nothing, because we need to arrive in the top 6, and we need to win tomorrow and have the maximum point about this.
What do you think about your opponent?
Well, I think all the team in this competition are very good. Schalke play a lot in defense and very well, so tomorrow will be a difficult bit there. But we try, so only this.
I think last time we had 2 strong games against Celtic with the result of 6 points. This week we play against Juventus, and we want a minimum of 3 points. Yeah, we expect that from ourselves, and let's see what happens.
Yep. So yeah, we touched on Schalke 04 and how they've played together so many times. Advantage in terms of experience. On the opposite foot, we've got Juventus, who, I mean, they've got Eterito and Luca, who have played together for many, many years, but they've got Lo Scandalo, who hasn't really been a part of the fold for them anyway as a team. Do you think we saw that in match day 1?
I think we saw a little bit of it. I think that the way that the team kind of played, I think it was more a case, though, that they didn't understand how to use Juve in a stat balancing. So Ronaldo, for example, isn't as powerful as he is regularly. Dybala, the same. Cuadrado, the same. You have to find and fine-tune those moments. I think we're going to see an improved Juventus, but I think we're also going to see an improved Schalke as well.
Yep, well, let's find out. We're going to go straight to the 3rd match of the day. Juventus versus FC Schalke 04. So the one thing I noticed there, Wes, as they shook hands, is the size difference between the Schalke boys and the Juventus boys. Slightly scary opponents, the Schalke lads.
Well, we said physicality reigned supreme in stat balancing. If it was outside of this, I think it would also play a part. But looking at the two kind of behaviours, you can see that Schalke look incredibly focused. Juve look very relaxed. So it's going to be a combination of who performs on the day.
I mean, we saw in match day 1 the sort of grudge match almost between Juventus and Barcelona with Eterito and Guiafera that some people will remember from PES League last year. Do you think that maybe got to Juventus a little bit, and do you think we're going to see a fresher, more relaxed game from them today?
Yeah, I think it plays a part, but I don't think it was as significant as not knowing what to do with your players. And I know that. See, very easy for me to sit up here and go, do you know what? Juventus don't know how to play with Juventus. But when you're looking at what you're looking at, you know, if you look at the tactics as we see them at the moment, almost identical formations. But I don't know whether that's the right fit for Juve. You know, they're not starting with Ronaldo right down the middle, whereas I probably would. But you have to have an idea of how you want to set out. And looking at these teams, they're almost identical in terms of their setup. So it's going to be a case of who executes better. Is it going to be Schalke? Is it going to be Juve? Your money would be on Juve because they have, Ronaldo, Dybala. They have players of quality. With Schalke, it's Harit and it's
And also with Juve, you've got 2 players who were part of